place to run, no place to run. Mutant age has now begun.
Oh, I wonder if I should adjust the volume. Well, this is, of course, Jeremy, and
this is Tim.
Normally, you'd find us on the Neverland podcast and the Saturday Morning Rewind podcast, respectively, but this is the Marvel Tooncast. We're kind of a new thing. We have one episode that is available at, neverlandpodcast.com/Marvel. Oh, and there's the great Stan Lee talking.
Know which one of them may be a mutant, a person born with strange and wondrous powers. Now, some mutants, like the X-Men, use their special gifts for good, but then there are the terrorist mutants who plan to destroy the human race.
Okay, I had to be quiet so you could hear the Stan Lee, because I think every time I talk, it's wiping out the sound from the video.
For example, he's too dangerous to live.
I can just tell Stan loved
Nito. Really?
Every time he did voiceover for a cartoon, he just gave 110%. I love that.
Yeah. And where was it that somebody had said, they eventually need to have an Oscar for best cameo, so he gets something.
Yes.
When the Brotherhood of Mutant Terrorists and I are through.
Let's see. And the voice you are hearing there as Magneto is Earl Bowen. I'll look up real quick to see other things he's done.
I don't recognize the name, so I don't know.
Well, you'd recognize his face. He was in the, I think at least 2 Terminator movies. He was the doctor in the asylum.
Yep, okay, yeah.
Not water, sir! It's not...
I don't know. Well, there's X-Men Legends. He was the voice of Colossus in a video game. EverQuest 2, World of Warcraft, Psychonauts. He's actually done a lot of video games. And even The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. He was a doctor and a narrator.
Magneto, your deliverance is at hand!
The White Queen, voiced by Susan Silo.
Hold it, mutant! What are you doing? Swatting a neck.
We're coming up on my favorite line here.
Colonel Chaffee! Colonel Chaffee! Colonel, are you all right, sir?
Oh, I missed it.
Mutant on the loose, son.
That's something I just want to use in conversation. Colonel Chaffee, the convoy is sinking.
Would you wait here for me?
Forget it, kid.
The ultimate way to say that everything's going to crap.
Gives me the creeps.
Dear Miss Pryde, it has come to my...
And that was Michael Bell voicing the taxi driver as well, wasn't it?
I think I've heard maybe even a couple times in the last short couple minutes.
Listed as, of course, playing Cyclops.
This way, Miss Pryde.
Most people will know him, of course, as playing Duke in G.I. Joe.
You guys know who did the voice of Professor X on this. He's also the voice of Mr. Slate from the Flintstones.
Professor X.
Really?
Yeah.
Who have joined me.
Now that I listen to him, I can tell.
X-Men? But I thought the X-Men...
The rare thing, though, of Michael Bell is a lot of people forget that he was actually in the first pilot episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation.
All the things mentioned in this letter, no one knows. Not
He
even...
also did voiceover for Star Wars.
A powerful computer
He did.
which can detect unique brainwaves emitted by mutants. That is how I found you.
Then I really am a mutant.
I'm a freak.
Oh, my dear, we mutants are not freaks.
I don't know.
Already, this is so similar to the X-Men from the '90s cartoon, but
Yes, it is.
Kitty.
really, we get this, but they're both so good and so unique in their own special.
Danger Room. And down
Well, I think the animation was better in this one,
where
Yeah.
despite the choppy, appearance because we're streaming.
they simulate combat.
This looked more like a G.I. Joe cartoon, which I love.
This is Scott Summers, better known as
That great Marvel animation from back in the day when they were with Sunbow.
He shoots concentrated beams of pure energy. Next is Peter Rasputin. His code name is Colossus. Don't worry, Kitty. As Colossus, Peter is impervious to harm.
Now I can't not hear Mr. Slate.
Alison Blair, the Dazzler.
Dazzler's a character that has nearly faded into obscurity.
Yeah, really.
Nobody remembers her.
No, not at all.
Oh, who's that?
Nightcrawler, Nightcrawler has mastered the art of line-of-sight teleportation. That's Wolverine, with razor-like adamantium claws. They're sharp enough to slice through almost any substance known to man.
And speaking of which, did you see the new Logan trailer?
I'm actually excited for it.
Oh, yes.
Still,
Like, oh, a good X-Men movie again. Finally.
Finally.
Finally a good Wolverine movie, too.
Yes, that's true, because I have not liked the last two, or have been 2 or 3, I forget.
child.
This will be the third one.
Okay.
So they had the origins, which the best part was the first 5-10 minutes, which is what I thought the entire movie was supposed to be.
Yes, Pryde. Scott, I have someone up here I'd like you all to meet.
Sure thing, Professor.
Ah, Fräulein, what a lovely vision you are.
Bill Ross right there, also from G.I. Joe.
Oh, really? Wow.
Kitty, you're phasing. X-Men, welcome Kitty Pryde.
I'm sorry. I guess I phased through the computer.
She has the power to walk through solid objects, a power known as phasing.
Kids.
And there's your bad Australian accent for Wolverine for no apparent reason.
Well, I did find out that they,
Fräulein.
at that time, the Australian accent was so huge because of movies like Mad Max and that kind of, and like Crocodile Dundee, that they actually were thinking about making him Australian in the comics as well. But they didn't go that route, of course. And so we get it in this version, at least.
They'd already established him as Canadian back in the 70s, so...
Yeah, I know. I don't know how they could have changed them.
Well, that's Marvel for you. They'll mess with anything they can.
Yeah, in general, somebody dies, then you come back a month later.
Wait for me!
One thing I wish they would have gotten a chance to do with Nightcrawler in an animated series is what you get to see in the movies, where when you take somebody who can teleport that quickly, how quickly he can move through a crowd of people and take them out one at a time because he can just pop to each one.
Yeah.
Like, never in the cartoons have I seen where they really showed how cool his power could be. Especially in this one, they just show, oh, he's over here. Oh, now he's over here. Oh, now he's over here. But not really do anything to take out the bad guys.
Like the beginning of X-Men 2, something like that, to where it shows you how amazing he can be.
The human race will become slaves of the evil mutants.
Kitty, you're scrambling Cerebro's defensive circuits.
They're inside the mansion. What do we do?
Magneto, do not hide.
Yeah, the woman who does the voice of Kitty Pryde, Cass Soucy, she is actually Morgana from Darkwing Duck. Yeah, I can hear that listening to her voice. And, she's also Phil and Lil from Rugrats.
What's wrong, Charlie?
I just realized something. Okay, I was doing some looking. Juggernaut there
It's your choice
was
of
also in the Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling
Well, let's see.
as Nikolai Volkov.
I can hear a little bit of wrestling accent in there, a little wrestling voice. What's wrong?
Give it to me now or suffer.
That's funny to me because of course he would do a wrestler voice.
Yeah.
Child, you are being foolish. Normal humans hate you for being what you are. Why not join me?
No! Normal humans and mutants don't have to be enemies. I'll never join you. Never!
That's too bad, my dear. Truly tragic, yes.
As good as this guy is as Magneto, I still really love the 90s voice of Magneto.
Yeah, so do I. Know that voice is what I hear when I imagine Magneto.
Headquarters.
Yep, whenever I'm reading a comic, that's the voice I come through too.
With Magneto's deadly allies, the Blob and Pyro.
The fire! It's coming closer!
What do you want?
Nothing. Just not over Earth.
An apple! After all, once we get the tracking coordinates...
Right there's Pat Fraley as Pyro, also known as Krang from Turbo.
Pyro.
Ah! We've been expecting you.
I can hear it.
Just take this.
And Alan Oppenheimer as the Blob, also known as Skeletor.
Known so many great things.
Back off, X-Men, please!
Funny thing is, I was actually just watching He-Man and the Masters of the Universe on Netflix.
Wrong, Ruby Eyes! In 2 days, it'll concern every human on Earth.
Wait till I get my claws on him. He'll be talking out the other side. Look out!
Well, I hope Trenton Larkin is watching this because that's something. Well, I guess he's already recorded his conversation, but he should at least mention because he's going to have Pat Fraley on his show very soon. I think his next episode, he has said. For anyone who has not listened to who did that voice, go check it out. Good joke.
That's our cue. Let's go. Hang on, everyone.
Good old Asteroid M.
Locked onto the comet.
Yes, Master. Everything is ready, just as you ordered.
Excellent.
And
Place.
there's the great Frank Welker as Toad.
Get away from me, beast.
And that's Frank Welker again.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I did it, Master. I did good, didn't I?
Yes, Toad. Now make yourself useful. Go play in an airlock.
All right, Master.
Or Toad.
Yeah. Oh, come here.
Professor?
Yeah, very different than what we got used to in that first X-Men movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Where should I put him? Here.
They managed to take kind of a meaningless character and make him interesting, though, at least in that movie.
Yeah.
No, no!
Well, how could he not be interesting? It's Darth Maul with a tongue.
It's okay.
Seriously.
You're safe now. Then it's all been real.
Of course it's all been real. Get with it. The X-Men don't have room for whiny brats.
Just who are you calling
Over
whiny?
the accent, it's just so weird.
Hold it, Kitty. Wolverine may not be Mr. Sunshine, but he
And
is
that's
me.
cheesy line.
Magneto's the enemy.
That is such a cheesy line. I love it. He's not your enemy. That's right. Magneto's the enemy.
You all right?
Now I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, yeah. I find it very interesting that you have Wolverine not liking the new kid coming in, when in the comics he's like an instant father figure.
Yeah.
I failed you all. Magneto has the circuit.
You didn't fail, my child.
None of us would have had a chance alone against Magneto.
We must discover exactly what Magneto is up
Well,
to.
except for maybe Professor Xavier, because that's how he got in the wheelchair, so he did take Magneto on by himself.
Mm.
But that's also why he formed the X-Men. It's like, okay, well, he's going to try to do something again, and I'm going to have a team.
I can feel the energy, the power.
I have located Magneto. The power.
The power!
You could make a drinking game of how many times somebody says, the power!
Power.
I've done it! I've captured the Scorpio Comet! In less than a day, most of the human race will be wiped out. The mutants will rule the Earth!
Is
That
what
would be like a fun secret word for Pee-wee's Playhouse is power, and then watch this, and there's so many times they say it.
What's happened? Are you all right?
What is it?
Magneto. He's changed the course of the comet Scorpio directly towards Earth. The power.
Scorpio strikes Earth. It'll send up a cloud of dust and debris, which will block out the sun for years.
And our planet will be plunged into the Ice Age.
And we've got to stop it.
How?
Now, here's the thing. So, if Magneto's plan is to wipe out everybody on the planet, so I guess the only one surviving would be there on Asteroid M, you realize he's only got one female up there on that asteroid?
But Wolverine's right.
That's what he plans on.
Trained, it's much too dangerous. You'll stay here.
Does the White Queen realize her role in Magneto's new world?
I don't think she does, yeah.
I'll show you all.
It's reported to be the comet Scorpio. Until a few short hours ago, it was only a harmless scientific curiosity. If Scorpio comes any closer, it will mean disaster.
Professor, we're now in a parking orbit.
All right, suit up.
I love the music here.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Storm, when I blow the airlock, we'll need your powers to keep the atmosphere inside the asteroid.
I love Michael Bell.
Oh, yeah.
You can come out now. You were told to remain at the mansion.
I couldn't. It's my fault Magneto has the power circuit.
Plan to do is very dangerous.
I have to help. The world Magneto wants to destroy is my world, too.
That's all right. You'll be fine up here in space, but you being one of the few females.
Good luck to us all.
Wolverine, once inside, your tracking power will lead us to Magneto. Are we going to talk about this all day or do it? We're going to do it.
Now, how is he able to fire that through his helmet? I don't know.
Wow, that's a good point right there.
Stop them!
This way!
G'day! Welcome to Asteroid M! Don't you just love a good Barbie?
Leave.
No, I don't like to play with Barbies.
You guys go on!
I don't think I ever have played with Barbie. I played with like My Little Ponies and that kind of stuff. But never a Barbie.
If you can!
Well, you'd already developed your masculine security because you were fantasizing about being Wonder Woman too, so that's okay.
That is so true. I actually did that.
Actually, when my sister had her Barbies, I'd have some wrestling figures and I'd play along with her, and my guys were midget wrestlers. Because they were like half the size of Barbie, so.
So, you've managed to get past our little welcoming committee, but you go no further.
Although, didn't he just tear out a big chunk of the ventilation in that place?
And who is going to stop us? Me, Juggernaut!
Gentlemen, welcome.
Who would know in later X-Men comics, Cyclops and White Queen would actually be running the school together and have kind of a thing going on.
When was that?
That's in the comics.
Is it newer?
Yeah, that's when they start that. Around the time of the that last movie, I guess slowly started working where the White Queen was part of the group. Of course, she was the leader of a group, a separate school called Generation X back in the earlier 90s. But eventually she ended up being a headmistress to the school, and her and Scott were running it. Jean Grey died, and then her and Cyclops started getting together.
I stopped reading comics around 95, 96. No, maybe 97, 98.
It's the Comet's course. Strike now!
I stop reading every time that they screw things up.
All the time now.
Your own body is recharging the circuit.
Now, I do bring up a question about this scene in the actual podcast episode, so I'm not going to ask it now. We'll just let everybody download and listen to it.
Have any idea what you've done?
Yes! I've just stopped a madman from destroying the Earth!
Which hopefully I have a link in the show notes below.
One face instead!
But you
I think it's like marvel.neverlandpodcast.com. Eventually we'll try to make it give its own website.
But we'll change course back to Earth. Although you've won, Nightcrawler must die.
But there is an RSS feed. It's just not been available to iTunes yet.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Once we get it to iTunes, everybody subscribe like crazy.
At once! But I can't!
Make sure you subscribe here on the thing below so you can watch these when we do these hopefully nearly every week.
Quickly, I have a plan. Nightcrawler, listen to me. I'll keep the Blackbird on your view screen. Your timing must be flawless. You'll have to teleport just before the comet hits. Do you understand?
Of course, Professor.
Now, Nightcrawler, now! You've waited too long!
Do it. Ah.
He's gone.
Dead.
There. He's alive.
Not for long. He's entering the Earth's atmosphere.
Does this mean Magneto and all of his mutants are all dead?
I know, seriously.
Better hurry! It's getting plenty warm in this suit!
Well, they didn't make any more episodes of this series.
Exactly, maybe that's what happened.
Where is he? Professor?
He's gone.
No, he can't be dead. He just can't be. No! I was so mean to him. Now I can never make it up to him.
Just can't believe it.
Okay, she's a little annoying.
A little bit.
There.
In the Ultimate line of comics, Kitty Pryde and Peter Parker actually dated for a while.
Oh, wow.
Dead after all, no?
I would hope not. But I would have been, if not for Kitty Pryde.
Aww.
Thank you. That was the bravest, most unselfish thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't you agree?
Well, Wolverine, you were against Kitty being a member of the team.
Now, does it make sense that these claws need to be sharpened when it's adamantium? You can't do anything with them?
He's just showing off. That's all he's doing.
Making sparks.
Yes, the X-Men have won, but only for now. Magneto is still out there, waiting, planning, plotting.
No, he's not. We just watched him blow up, Stan.
But whatever the challenge, whatever the peril, the X-Men will be there.
As much as I love this, I'm kind of glad it didn't take off because I do love the 90s version so much better.
Yeah, although I suspect we'd have still gotten a 90s version because this might not have run that long.
Yeah, that's true.
But it would have been neat to see them continue it. I mean, they did have big plans for it. After all, they did make an arcade game based off of the styles.
Yep. And I do love a lot of the voice cast on this, but I can't see most of the voice cast in the 90s animated cartoon being replaced because it's so iconic.
Yeah.
Like when you hear Beast, I don't hear anything else except for the 90s version of Beast.
Early computer animation Spider-Man. One thing that I'm not able to show is if you bought the video cassette like I did of this, you have a really nice vote commercial from Spider-Man telling you to get out and vote and register.
Yeah.
But this is, I believe, available out on DVD. Oh, well, my DVD is just going to keep rolling. I've got an assortment of different things. Here's a series we might eventually get a chance to talk to. I'm going to go stop the DVD, which means I have to release my headphones. Well, now that's gone, I'm going to sign off. I have to go and stop broadcast, so I will just allow Tim to say goodbye to everybody as I go hit stop broadcast. And like I said, make sure you come back. Well, hopefully every week we'll be able to record one of these at about 10 o'clock Central Time, which is when all the good shows really came on in Central Time anyway, back in the 90s.
Yep, and make sure to check out Jeremy's podcast, Neverland Podcast. Oh, I call it Neverlong Podcast. And check out mine, Saturday Morning Rewind.